Hello, I'm Chloet, and today I want to draw some sea life. I have some supplies here. I really like sketching with highlighters. I get a lot looser with them, and I do have a pencil for making things darker when needed. But I'm gonna start with the light blue highlighter. And I have a reference up. This first one is an orca. And I've been really inspired by like some sea life lately. So I wanted to do more of that work in my sketchbook. I also have some Ohuhu markers on the side. I think it's looking kind of strange, but I don't know why. Oh yeah, there's a pattern here that I'm missing. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. And what I do with the highlighters, I usually start with the highlighters and either I start coloring them in right away or I start refining the sketch with my pencil or maybe a colored pencil. I think the beady eyes making him look really cute. Very sweet looking guy. I think the eye is a bit too cartoony. That's a very good shape. And I have pinned down my paper with the clip because this is what's going on with my sketchbook. This is not a watercolor sketchbook, but I use watercolors in it, so it warps a lot. And I also pinned down this Ohuhu's like plastic sheet that protects the papers underneath it. I do really like him. He's looking very cute, so I want to color him in. I think I'm gonna start with this. I'm not gonna do this orca completely black. I want it to be more colorful. So I'm just using this as like a base color, so I don't mind going over everything. I usually leave like spots of highlight, but since this is gonna be so dark, I don't mind the highlights being this sort of color. But I do want to try to make him look very shiny. Honestly, I have a kind of a hard time finding all the markers. Like they're all just jumble around in the back. They're not like individual pouches, so you can organize them, which is like fine, but since these are quite a new supply for me, I don't recognize all the tops. So when I'm looking for a specific color, I sometimes have a hard time. But I don't think that's a fault of the markers, I think that's like a me problem. While I have this on hand, I'm just gonna go over some areas that I want to be darker for sure. I do also want to add some color to the white areas, so I think I'm gonna use like a very pastel turquoise. I think these two are the lightest blues in the set, but I think I'm gonna go with this one because I think it's fun. No other reason. Like I want this to be very colorful. I've basically only copied the shape from the photo. Like I consider this a study, but I enjoy going a bit wild with the colors. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. And I think I want to add this mint to the other highlight areas as well. I think I want the shadows to be more turquoise as well. So I'm using also a green color for the shadows. Yeah, I had to repin the paper, it was a bit loose, so there was this kind of like bubble in it. I want to make the shadows even darker. I feel like this is looking quite flat still. So instead of going over it with more like one of these grays, I think I want to use this turquoise color. Or the sky blue. Actually, let's swatch these. So I just tried laying over the colors with each other to see how it would look here. And I think I prefer this turquoise color. So let's deepen the shadows a bit. Oh no, this is the wrong one. This one. So I'm just picking up the purple color I used for the base to blend in a bit. I just want to add some more shadows to the white parts. I'm really liking how this is looking, but I do feel like it needs some like outlines. So I think I'm gonna use some colored pencils to just like crispen up the edges. I have this ultramarine light pencil. Yeah, I think this is a very good blue for this. I also want to add this for some texture around some areas. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with this one. I think it turned out really well. I do really love my blues and greens, but I also wanted to do something more red toned. So I found a picture of a nautilus. Nautilus, I think that's how you say it. They have some really pretty colors on them. Oh, there's so many tentacles to draw. I didn't maybe think this through. And I'm not like drawing every single one of them, but I do want to draw enough to get the idea across. Well, it's not looking that pretty right now, but let's see if I can like pull it together. Well, I don't like it as much as I like the orca. But let's see if the colors can save me. I'm just using like this peachy tone for the base color. I think it can look really nice if you mix like a cool sketch and a warmer piece, or the other way around. So that's what I'm trying here. Yeah, I'm gonna use this to make it even warmer. I do want to add a cooler tone here for the shadows. And I'm just using this orange color to add the stripes in, and I might do a few layers with this to make them darker. I do feel like the Ohuhu nibs are holding up quite nicely. Specifically, I mean the brush nibs, because like on some other brush markers I've had previously, the brush felt kind of like floppy, I guess. So it was really hard to do like fine details, especially since this Nautilus drawing, it is quite small. So it's really handy, you can do stuff like this. I also did some orange CG tentacles, did some variation to them. And I just kept layering the orange on the stripes a few times to get a deeper color, since these markers are quite pastel. I think the colors did pull it together. I do think he needs kind of like a background color to make him really like pop. Good yellow would be nice. Actually, I could use like a highlighter for it. Well, while I was looking for this yellow highlighter, I knocked down my camera. So the footage is probably from a bit of a different angles. But I don't think I broke anything, luckily. Ooh, it's smudging a bit. I don't know why, but always... I know like I should work from left to right, but I always work from right to left and end up smudging everything with my hand. Yeah, I think he's really popping with the yellow. And maybe I want to line him with the brown. I think this round umber color would look nice with it. And also it has a lot of texture on the shell, so I want to add that in as well. Also, I'm just doing some details that I didn't feel confident enough to do with the markers. Yeah, I think it's looking really nice. I was really worried, but yeah, I think he's very cute. I took note of like how many pinks and peaches I have in this headset. I guess it's more peaches than pinks. But I wanted to do something like very pinky, and apparently there aren't very many pink animals in the sea, or anywhere else for that matter. But I did find a pink jellyfish, so I want to do that one. Instead of the highlighters, I'm using the pencil right now because the tendrils are so delicate. I don't think I could really capture it with the highlighters. I'm really simplifying this, like the general shape of these like tendrils, like there are some like these sort of like thinner tendrils, and then there are the thicker ones, and the thicker ones look like curly ribbons to me. So I'm just using the same technique I use to draw ribbons, so I do like a squiggle, and then I connect all the like corners of the squiggles. We squiggle, 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 and around right at the edge of the curve, I draw a line up so it looks more 3D. Okay, I think the sketch is done, and I'm gonna lay down this like very light pink color over everything. You can barely even see that. Also, there's like the see-through part here, so I want to add some blue there to imply the ocean color. So here's a more see-through part. This was actually the color that inspired me to do something pink. This is the swatch for it, it's this brighter one. I think it's a really pretty color. So I'm gonna blend the base color and the bright pink color. I really like how these are blending. I think it's because all the colors are so light, it's easy to blend them together. And voice over cloud here, I really zoned out while I was doing this. I really got into a rhythm of like laying down the brighter pink color and then blending it out with the lighter color. I just did a whole lot of blending and I was having a blast. Like this was so fun to do and it felt really intuitive. Like I'm not the greatest with alcohol markers, so I feel like I sometimes struggle, but this was going really well. At least I think so. I'm having so much fun with doing these translucent effects. Like, it looks really nice, and it's not like giving me a headache trying to figure out how to do them. Also, I want to go back in and add some more of the blue tone in some areas. Yeah, here's an area that's showing more of the sea through the jelly, so I'm just adding more blue here. And using the lightest color to blend it in. Also, this area doesn't have it, but I want to add it anyways. I feel like it just works here. I'm also adding more blue here. Yeah, I think I should do the background with this light blue I've been using for RG blue areas. So these tendrils are kind of fading in the background, so I'm going completely over them to kind of like push them back. And actually I decided that the background color would be this mint wisp color instead of the blue I used for these pots. This background color is really changing how the pink is looking. No, this is kind of blotchy. I'm gonna reshape this. I don't know what it's called, but there's like this translucent layer and then there's more opaque layer beneath it. And I want to reshape the opaque part a bit. Well, it's a lot darker here now than anywhere else, so I'm just gonna add this to more areas. Yeah, I'm a big fan of how this page is looking right now. I think especially this one's really pretty. I like the colors a lot. Yeah. But I do have still some more space here. I don't know if I can squeeze something here, but I can definitely draw something here. Okay, I found a picture of this cute pufferfish. And I'm using the highlighter again because I don't have any like super tiny details. He has a silly little smile. Okay, he looks a bit strange. Oh god. Okay, let's see if he can save this again. He looks ridiculous, I'll be honest. I'll be real with you. I really don't like this sketch, but I'll try throwing color at it and see if it gets any better. Fingers crossed. Well, he's still looking a bit crazy. We might need to bring out the colored pencils again with this one. I like this yellow mixing, so I'm just adding it everywhere to make it a bit more bright. I'm making this thin like a pastel turquoise, so it contrasts with the rest of the fish. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this one. I'm gonna try and go over it with colored pencil to like define some of the shapes and deepen some of the shadows, like the mouth. My mouth looks really crazy. Yeah, I think the eye is a lot better. I think I still messed up the beak somewhat. I can try going over it with a white paint marker to try to save it. But I feel like he looks a lot less creepy with the eye colored in. I think I made it even worse. So I'm gonna take my time trying to fix him, maybe off camera. I'll come back to you then. Okay, so after I got the pattern in him, I think he's looking a lot better. He's still not my favorite, but this is gonna be it for today. So, this is what we did today. I'm really happy with this sketchbook spread. I think this is like really fun and colorful, and like this is a sketchbook spread I'd be like proud to share. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me make these. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can see you again next time. And goodbye!